Good morning and welcome to London. Welcome to Microsoft Ignite the Tour London. I'm here at the Excel Centre. I'm here for day 2 and in a minute we're going to go inside. I've just been inside and registered, so I've got my attendee badge I'll go through and kind of show you where everything is, and we'll just do a walkthrough of the area throughout the day. Interesting things that I see. There's some sessions I know I want to go to. There's also some people I want to meet. And there's some areas I want to show you, so excited to see what's inside.
So when you come into the Excel Centre, the first thing you got to do is come downstairs to do registration. Now I've got to say, day 2 in the morning is a really good time to get registered if you're not already. There are no lines here at the moment for registration. I know that wasn't the case yesterday, so this is really, if you're here just for day 2 and you just need to get registered, that's a really good time to do so. So once you've registered, you kind of have 2 options. Right in front of me here is the hub, so just so you know where you're going. You've got registration here, you've completed registration, kind of turn, you've got the hub. The other place you can go on this floor is also the auditorium. So the number of kind of big sessions happening in there, the keynotes and things like that. So the auditorium is literally over this way, and it's on that kind of side, on that wall as well. So we're going to go into the hub for now, because the hub is kind of divided into a couple of different places and spaces that are kind of interesting. Okay, so from inside the hub, it's kind of split into 2. On this kind of section here, this is the Microsoft Showcase area, and we're going to dig into this. There's always some interesting things to see in here. And then turning to our left on the kind of little raised area, the sort of mezzanine up there, that's kind of partner zone. So that's the kind of classic Expo hall, the vendors, sponsors, you'll find them all in there, and we're going to walk around there as well. Like I say, I think everyone's in sessions, but this is a really good time to come because actually it's pretty quiet here at the moment. I love how they've made all these kind of little seats out of cardboard boxes. I guess they're kind of sturdy, but they just seem to be made out of cardboard. Yeah, I hope they're sturdy. We'll find out. But they're kind of little boxes. Such a cool idea because there's never anywhere to sit at things like this. So kind of really cool to see. One of the things on this floor as well, there is a theatre. So you can see the theatres happening in progress right at the end here. And this is a nice idea because you can kind of drop in and drop out as well. It's not as kind of formal as a session. They tend to be shorter as well. I think they're 15 minutes in length per session, these theatre sessions. So they're a really good way of kind of drive-by. If it sounds interesting, then you can stop and listen and kind of see what's happening.
Okay, so I think I got that wrong because on this floor there are definitely partners as well. You can see one here, and then if I pan around, you can see some more here. Maybe it's just that, like, if you spend enough money, you can be down here, and everyone else gets to go up there. Not quite sure. There's also a play zone here, so just kind of a way to chill out, relax in between sessions, just kind of have some fun. A couple of games here. Kind of cool. Kind of early in the morning here, so it's kind of a little bit empty, but it's a good chance to see all the kit before all the people arrive. So I'm still in the Microsoft Showcase area, but I've kind of come to the other side, and if I kind of turn around, you'll kind of see what I'm looking at. I want to show you, which is kind of really interesting, is a community pop-up space. So this is an area for you to come and connect with your local community groups. So these are showing some kind of meetups. This is a space people could book for their local community groups. They can do a special session, and different people can pop in and see. It's a really cool way of kind of finding out what's available in the community, because actually this Microsoft community is it's really vibrant. It's really interesting. There's lots of interesting things, and Microsoft give it this kind of support of saying, yes, we've got this massive show in town, but come and do your thing here as well and promote it, and people can see it. So it's a really nice kind of area. If I kind of walk around the back of here, you'll see something else that's really interesting, which is the Expert Connect area. Now they have this at Microsoft Ignite as well, and it's great to see that they're bringing it to the local shows as well. So this is, you can bring your questions and bring your problems and kind of have experts from, that's Microsoft or MVPs as well, kind of come and look at them and sort you out and hook you up with the right people and answer your questions. So you can either book time here, there's book slots that are available, or you can just come and see who is going to be there. So this is an example. This is between kind of the morning session you can see, and looking down the list, there's some really good names on there that will definitely be able to help you out. So Gary there I can see for Xamarin Azure, Bill Ayres, Mr. SharePoint himself, along with a couple of other really good names there as well. So if you've got those kind of questions, something like this is a really good way of just coming and getting them answered whilst you're here, whilst you're at the show doing some other sessions. I can see Bill there actually with his back to us in the blue t-shirt answering questions. I think that's what he's doing anyway. So I just stopped to catch up with Bill actually and shared a coffee with him. And he was saying, caught up with someone else as well, recent MVP, Chris, the real expert on Blazor actually, which is kind of interesting. Really interested to see what's happening in that space. But he was saying yesterday there were nearly 5,000 people here, I think. So really kind of, and it's definitely a lot busier now than it was. One of the sessions just ended, so a load of people just kind of plowed in. This is the Expert Connect area I'm in still. I just kind of came around the side of it. So you can see, and in fact there's a queue now for people queuing up to get their sessions in, to see people, and kind of get some time in. And there are also like special booths as well, Expert Connect booths over here you can see. So you can actually book time and you can talk about your problem in kind of confidence as well, or just kind of privacy and quiet really, and you're not going to get disturbed. But it's a really great idea, this Expert Connect thing, I think. And it kind of ties in really well with the community pop-up stuff as well, because a lot of the experts, they don't have to be Microsoft people, they're MVPs, and other kind of community experts who've been through the kind of same pain that you've been through. So really good to see. So I've come upstairs because actually this is a much better way of seeing the Microsoft Showcase floor. I should have done this to start really. You can see over here is where we came in, and then come up to over here. This is the kind of showcase area. This is the Expert Connect area here, the community pop-up, the theatre right at the back here, and then down here we've got kind of food and drink. Really good provision for things like coffee, no real queues for drinks, even though there's a lot more people here now. No real kind of queues for coffee or anything like that, so it's really good. And whilst I'm here, what I came up to was the bit I pointed out, that mezzanine area, the kind of partner zone. So there's lots and lots of different partners here. I'm not going to walk through all of them, I don't think. If I see anything interesting, I will obviously stop and show. Oh, looks like they've got one of those kind of grabby, what are they called? Those fairground things where you can grab a toy with like a grabby handle thing. Very cool. No tech show would be complete without people doing VR demos and VR experiences. This is kind of one of them. And then just come over here because there's another one of those theatres doing theatre sessions as well. So again, you might just come up here to kind of look around the partner centre, or you had a particular partner you wanted to go and meet, but it turns out actually there's some good sessions happening up here as well. All of these are on the session builder as well. It's just different locations. So the well-known open source people Suzy are here, but kind of they've got a really cool remote control little gecko from their same kind of as their mascot. And there's a little game where you've got to go and pick up all the little things in the corners of the map, and they're going to time you. So it's kind of cool. It's always different to do something different and interesting at kind of exhibitions like this. Oh, that's hard. So you got to stick your tongue out and catch it. Oh. All right, I feel like we could be here for some time. I'm not sure I can stick around for all this. Oh, he's done too. Okay, maybe we will. Lovely people from Cloudflare are here. That's interesting to me because I would not have thought of Cloudflare as a kind of standard Microsoft partner. So I use them a lot for the blog. They're great. They kind of save me costs. They save me Azure costs, actually. It's a funny way of thinking about it, actually. They're saving me from paying Microsoft more money. So it's really interesting to see them here as a kind of sponsor. I might ask them about that. So I did ask them about that. I said, hey, how come you're here? Like, are you Microsoft partners? What's the deal? No, not Microsoft partners at all. They're here because they see kind of lots of tech people here. This makes sense for them to kind of come. There's, Azure plus Cloudflare is a really good mix. I mean, it's what I use. It's kind of a nice thing. And also, as Microsoft are moving into more areas that are like more open source, different platforms, different technologies, it makes sense for people like Cloudflare to be in it, which is really interesting for me to kind of come to a Microsoft-focused conference and start to see sponsors and kind of companies that really are not Microsoft-focused. Really interesting. I was up here at that mezzanine. I found this kind of cool map of all the tour dates and where exactly they're going to be happening for Microsoft Ignite the Tour. This is probably a good time to tell you. If you live in Zurich and are around on the 19th of March, come and see me, because that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be speaking at Microsoft Ignite the Tour, Zurich, on the 19th of March. These are kind of color-coded as well, so the black ones have more than 5,000 attendees, the yellow ones have more than 3,000, and the red ones have more than 1,500. So really kind of interesting, really cool to see. There's so much kind of good coverage here as well. So I think this is Microsoft saying, like, you don't have to come all the way to Orlando to kind of experience the goodness of a Microsoft tour, which is great, really good. One of the things that some conferences could really do more of is places like this, to come and relax, maybe do some work. This is the feature lounge on the mezzanine, and it's just kind of space with some tables and chairs, some nice plants, just a bit chilled out. You can get coffee as well. Yeah, it's nice. Get some work done. But sometimes it's nice just to sit down as well, because all the walking around, all the talking, it is tiring. And then you go and sit in a session, but then your brain gets melted because of the content. So it's nice just to kind of come and maybe just chill out, maybe do some work. Okay, so I started talking and I had to stop because I just ran into Anna Chu, who is over from the US. So it was really good to see her. Really good to catch up. That was interesting. What was I saying? Oh, yes, it's interesting to see the stands that Microsoft brings to smaller events like this. So I was talking about AI, Microsoft Power Platform you can see in the corner there, but also Azure Arc and Synapse. So they were the two new technologies, or one of the two, announced at the Big Ignite back in November. So it's kind of interesting to see they've got stands here. Also, big focus being given to the Learn booth, Microsoft Learn as well. And if we go around the side and kind of look back, because each of these panels is kind of two-faced, and then there's different technology on the other side. So now from the other side, kind of looking back, AppSource and the Azure Marketplace. That's kind of an interesting stand to have here. We've got Azure Arc we already saw. Surface, obviously no Microsoft event would be complete without a Surface. And then we've also got Microsoft Power Platform as well. So it's kind of interesting to see the mix that Microsoft bring to these events, because obviously they have to choose all the available technologies. They have to kind of choose the ones that they want and they want to bring. So it's interesting that they've made those decisions. So just stopping for a bite of lunch. Really impressed by the lunch queues and also the selection. It's kind of cold plate selection. Don't forget this is a free event, so it's good to see any food at all actually. But the lines were not long at all. Really good. Really good way of moving people around. And this is my lunch. So some sandwiches, some salad, some cake for after, and a banana. Excellent. All right, so I think I timed lunch right, because there are now some queues, but actually it's interesting to see where the queues are and where they are. And there are some queues for lunch. It's kind of no getting away from it. They are moving, but they're not crazy. Like, you might queue for 5-10 minutes maybe. This queue, though, is the queue in line for a free T-shirt. So, like, it's kind of big. It kind of stretches back outside to near where the registration area is, which is the T-shirt pickup area, which is where I'm heading. Not for a T-shirt pickup, because this line is crazy. And the T-shirts are going to be available between 12 noon and the end of the day. You can see on this sign over here. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to take my chances so they're not going to run out. And I'm headed upstairs because I'm going to go and see a session. It's a session I'm really interested to go and see by Don Osaka and Dux. Both excellent speakers, so the two of them together should be really, really interesting. So I'm super looking forward to that. One of the things I really like about this Excel Centre and the way it's laid out for Microsoft Ignite the Tour London is that a lot of the sessions are upstairs. In fact, they're 2 floors up, from the kind of expo and the food and all the partner and everything like that. All the sessions are kind of quite a long way away. It's a little bit of a walk to get there. I mean, 5 minutes maybe, but it's way quieter. It's a nice place to come if you're coming early to a session. There's chairs, there's electricity, there's, the Wi-Fi is still really good. So you kind of find people here who know, who get the comfy chairs, get some work done, or you just to show up early for a session as well. It's a good place just to relax before a session, kind of take stock, take some deep breaths. And because it does get busy here as well, because obviously it's a big space, and if there's sessions happening, that's where people come. So yeah, good one to know. That's where I'm at the moment. It's taking 5, sitting on a chair. Okay, so I made it. I'm into the session I wanted to get to, and nice and early, so front row seat for me. Should be a really good session actually. So Don Osaka and Dux Raymond, kind of talking about their experiences. Here you go. I thought it was interesting content, so I thought I'd see what it was all about. All right, so just finished up a session with Dux and Donna. Really, really good session, really interesting. Ended as only a Dux session would. I'll try and put some video of that in right about now.
Yeah, it's done just when you think you're done. You're not done. All right. You're not done. Okay, go. That's it.
Yeah, so you kind of know what you're getting at the end of a Dux session, so that was good and interesting. Yeah, just taking some questions now. Really good engagement, packed session as well, so really good to see. It's good to see this kind of caliber of speaker as well. Here in London, it's not all just local speakers as well. There are some kind of flown-in speakers as well, so you get some of the best of kind of the Ignite speakers as well here as well, which is really good.
So many good sessions here, honestly. I just so I've come back up to the mezzanine floor because there's the theatre right at the back. So if I pan around, you can see the whole of that mezzanine partner floor. And I just came up here because I was looking for someone actually. There's a session just finishing all around kind of Power Platform and how to roll it out securely in your organisation. It's really good. We can actually see the schedule just for this one theatre. So this is this one theatre today. You can see. So you can see kind of range of things. It's Secure, it's developers, it's it's Azure Stack, it's Power Apps, a whole range of interesting different things. What's really cool as well, if you come down here to the bottom, translation services. So there's closed captioning on all the stages in the top, and you can also go to that website for real-time translation as well. So really cool. Kind of nice to see that happening. Definitely, like I would say, Ignite is the only conference I'm aware of that rolls this out at conference scale. That kind of real-time captioning, real-time translation as well. It's really good to see. I think I may be just at the end of this, but there's a really good session here. So professional interest. So Ben, Jason, and Steve. So Ben works for Modality. And they're doing a kind of a fun conference. We check the schedule. We can see this kind of real-time Microsoft 365 real-world admin deployment migration tips and tricks. So basically, they're doing kind of Q&A as well, and sharing their tips and tricks, taking kind of feedback from the audience. Really nice packed session as well. Added some extra kind of seats at the back for people. So that's really good to see as well.
All right, that just about wraps it up for us at Microsoft Ignite. I've just had the security announcement that the event is closing and we all need to leave. So there's not actually that many people left now. This is kind of a little while later since I kind of stopped recording because I went to do some interviews with some people. So you'll be able to see those on my YouTube channel as and when they're available. And I'll link to them, link to some of the good ones, or just some of them, I don't know. Or maybe the playlist at the end of this video. Anyway, like I say, that wraps it up for us at Microsoft Ignite, the Tour London. Really good event from everything I saw today. I had a really good day. From what I heard from talking to people, yesterday was also a stellar day. So congratulations to the team who put Ignite the Tour together. I think it's really good. Thanks and well done to all the speakers, to all the Microsoft staff, the MVPs, and everybody. The sponsors, don't forget those, make it possible. So, and a big thanks as well to everyone at the Excel Centre who worked so hard to kind of make events like this successful. That pretty much wraps it up for me. We are heading for the exits. So thanks very much for watching. You can catch more interesting videos like this, if you thought they were interesting, on my YouTube channel at thoughtstuff.co.uk/video. And the shutters are coming down. We're going to get locked in. I better go. And you can also find me on Twitter at TOMORGAN. Thanks very much for watching.